Okay, welcome to Jessica on YouTube. Today's video is going to be about the National Museum of the Marine Corps, located at 1775 Semper Fidelis Way, Triangle, Virginia, up by Quantico. The hours they're open are Sunday through Saturday, 0900 to 1700, or from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Civilian time. The website is usmcmuseum.com. Let's get into it.
On the bright afternoon of June 6th at the United States Marine 5 days
stamina of their infantry. Once the bombardment began, teamwork and fighting spirit from the line of departure towards the opposing.
I'll be sure to leave a Google Maps link with more information in the video description. Please support your local tour bus companies, because that's my main job, driving tour buses. And many companies will love to take you up to the Marine Corps to learn about our nation's history.
Two Allied nations emerged from the war with their economies intact and growing. 6 years later, they invaded the entire country. A world away after a decade of runaway inflation and turmoil in Germany.
Japanese have drawn first blood. The attack was a complete surprise.
We have witnessed this morning the attack of Pearl Harbor for nearly 3 hours. It's no joke, it's a real war. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American, naval, and military forces. I regret to say that very many Americans
don't run over nobody, don't let nobody run over you. Be a man. That's right.
Lesson about some of the things that we did during World War II and some of the other wars.
Well, we did a lot of leading and directing and fighting over there to help the United States become a better country. And also to treat the black man a different way, more respectable. And so he was a man, and he was supposed to be treated.
Read the history books, they will say, my grandfather was there. This is a source of pride for me.
of carrying on to the leaders of America's allies.
Look at all the people who did their duty to their last breath on this wall. Outstanding. May they all forever rest in honor and peace. So this is something that I have more familiarity with. Before I was a CB, I was a Navy beach master. So we would do a lot of these amphibious missions like this with Marines. We would leave Little Creek, which back then was Naval Amphibious Base Little Creek. And some of our gear would already be at Naval Station Norfolk on board, say, Wasp or Nashville or whatever. And then we'd leave Little Creek along BMU 2 to be exact, where I was, Beachmaster Unit 2, and then we'd go and get on board the ship out of Norfolk, and head down towards North Carolina, towards Camp Lejeune. And when we pick up over at Radio Island, or right there at Morehead City itself, and load up the Marine Expeditionary Forces on board our Navy amphibs, like probably the Wasp class there, but in my case USS Wasp or USS Nashville, LHD, and the newer types of LPDs. Of course, Nashville type, like LTB 13, those are all gone now, but they have those there now in its place. And then we'd head across the Atlantic over to the Mediterranean through the Suez Canal. In my case, when went to Somalia doing Operation Restore Hope, that's pretty much what we would do. Go over there, do what we have to do over there, and then we come back, float back home, and that's how we would do it. Drop the Marines off at Radio Island to go back to Camp Lejeune, and then of course we go back to Norfolk for the ships, and for us at BMU-2 and also the CBs on board, we go back to Little Creek with ACU-2 and ACU-4. So this is a little bit more of what I'm semi used to. You can see they're depicting, you got a sniper there, person spotter there, got somebody there on the 60, and you know, this is the Middle East. My experience with the Middle East consisted of Somalia, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, and United Arab Emirates, places like that. Am I forgetting anybody? Yeah. So I was in Operation Restore Hope in Somalia, but we did have to go into Abu Dhabi and stuff like that, and do different things. And this is a very good kind of backdrop of what all that looked like. We didn't have those back then. I had later on when I was in the reserves of the CB, we had, like, you know, those were around. Of course, we had Humvees. I can't remember if those were around or not back then. But I've seen some of those at Little Creek when I was in my reserve time later on after my Beachmaster time at Little Creek for different things that I won't go into. And of course, that's more me over there, the Humvee sitting over there. So I've worked on many Humvees in my time at Beachmaster Unit 2, Little Creek. Of course, you can see some of their gear. It's different than what I had, a little bit different than what I had, not too much difference. Like, you know, the backpacks, the rucksacks they use nowadays, the Alice packs and all that kind of stuff. We had old schooled in my Navy Beachmaster, and also earlier in my time as a CB, we had the we call the old school 782 gear. Somebody told me because it cost the government $782, and that's what you carried. You had the frame and all that on it back in the day. The stuff they have now is supposed to be a little bit better, but yeah, that brings back some memories. Yeah, that's pretty much. Looks like those are slightly different than the 782 gear I used to have, but I know they call it something different now, but my brain can't remember. Like I said, the Humvees I'm very familiar with because we had some in the Navy, Navy Beachmaster units, of course the CBs too, but more so when I was active as a Beachmaster at BMU-2 Little Creek. Those things, I remember seeing those coming out of the well decks of some of the amphibs heading to the beach. And, you know, of course, you see them doing beach operations, that kind of stuff. You know, when I was doing beach operations in my Beachmaster days under Naval Beach Group 2, so, or NBG 2, back in the day, working with the Marines. Of course, back when the Corps had tanks. I don't think they have tanks anymore, sadly. So in here it's just depicting some stuff about Marines and their families. Very similar to the Navy because Navy and Marines work together a lot. Marines are part of the Department of the Navy. So, work together a lot. And, you know, no matter what service you're in, when you deploy and you serve, your family also serves because your family is the ones who are taking care of things, you know, at home when you're away. And of course, sometimes people don't come home, and sometimes there are children that never see their mother or father alive again, such as what's depicted in this picture, sad picture right here. Of course, Marine Corps or whatever, I've got to show you guys this one here. They have a whole thing to Full Metal Jacket. It's pretty cool. Great movie. So back in my day, let me tell you, there was nothing like being on the flight deck of the USS Nashville or Wasp or Nassau and watching one of these Harrier jump jets take off. It was loud. It was awesome. It was amazing. So for me, one of the coolest things is just seeing the amount of U.S. Marine Corps equipment that they actually have in the building. It's great to actually see up close and personal some of the more modern equipment from the time I was in the Navy, and also, of course, current equipment that they have in the museum. It is an outstanding collection and something that I will truly never forget. And you need to go, and your little ones, if they love aircrafts, this is definitely a place to take them. when you've been out of the military for a while, you guys can hear me in the video, me walking there. You kind of forget sometimes how big some of these pieces of military equipment actually are. It's amazing. So this is the gift shop to the museum. Check it out. They've got all kinds of stuff there. So if someone you know and loves a Marine, they love a gift, I'm sure, from here. Or any aspiring Marine will love a gift from here. As I'll tell you more in a minute, please support this wonderful educational museum. So I picked up a couple of stickers for the museum. So when you guys are here, before you leave, please go and check out the store and help support this place. Everybody here that I've interacted with has been nice and kind and awesome, and it's awesome seeing all this wonderful history here. So about the Marine Corps, I have in my family members of every service, including a couple of Marines. So, and I have some very close friends, one of whom just passed away actually, who's a Marine as well. So, yeah. In addition to that, I have two cousins that attended the U.S. Naval Academy. One was in the Navy and one was a United States Marine. I am proud of them both. To close this, we're going to look at our friend here, for you double dog jarheads, our friend here, Lieutenant General Lewis P. Chesty Puller. And Chesty says, get off your rumps, charter a tour bus from your local tour bus companies, we appreciate it, and come here and learn something about your nation's history and the awesome men and women that I have served with when I was in the Navy, who were members of the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi. So I appreciate everybody for liking, sharing, comment, and subscribing from very close to Marine Corps base Quantico in Quantico, Virginia. The National Museum of the Marine Corps is JESCO on YouTube. This is an Atlantic Ocean Watch channel, but I appreciate you guys subscribing to JESCO here and also subscribing to my main channel, Atlantic Ocean Watch, where I do affordable watch reviews. I'm also Atlantic Ocean Watch on TikTok and Atlantic Ocean Watch on Instagram. I will leave links in the video description to all of those things. But when you're here, please stop by the gift shop. I picked up a couple of stickers for the museum and help support this outstanding place. It's a beautiful place, beautiful surroundings, and I've driving tour buses up and down 95, which is just over there. I've had kids so many times ask me why that building's shaped like that. What it is, as was told to me by a tour guide from, I believe, World Strides, who's one of the educational folks that I've dealt with from different tour bus companies in the past, as well as World Classrooms. What I've been told is it's shaped like that because it's an abstract of the Iwo Jima Memorial, also known as the U.S. Marine Corps Memorial, which is, of course, in Arlington, Virginia, basically connected to the back end of Arlington National Cemetery. So if you want to see the actual memorial, but that's why it's shaped like that. It's like an abstract artistic rendering of that, and that's why it has that shape. So figure I'd throw that in there. It's the more personal stuff that I, you know, for me, living and learning stuff that you might be interested. And thanks for watching. I gotta get out of here. See you.